All right, all right, all right. 1 second here. Make sure I got all my shit together. All right, man. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Winner's Diet Show. I am your host, Mac Solomon, aka Project Mac. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Happy Friday, by the way. We made it to another weekend. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic week so far going into the weekend. Damn, we're already midway through January, man. It's kind of crazy how time is just going so quickly. So it's crazy how fast time is just flying by, man. So I hope you guys are working on your goals, your New Year's resolutions. I hope you guys haven't fallen off yet, especially for my new gym goers. So um yeah, man, time is going by very, very quickly. Feeling better. I would say I'm like back normal again. So that's always good. Crazy last couple weeks, man. You guys don't know I was super, super sick. Um, Felt like I was gonna die. Really, those first couple of days of me being sick, man, was crucial. So I'm happy to be finally functioning again and back to our normal self. It's always hard bouncing back after being sick for a long time, man. If you guys been sick for a minute, you guys know what that shit feels like. It's not a good feeling, man. I was down bad for a week and a half. Still try to push through some streaming. Got about 2 days in, but man, I'm happy to be finally be just back again, 100%. Um, so yeah, man, I'm hoping to never get that sick again. Um, One thing that I will say though, when I used to take black seed oil back in the day. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. I was taking black seed oil, and when I was taking that, bro, I didn't get sick the whole freaking year. So that's just a little, blue chip. If you guys want to remain healthy all year round, start taking black seed oil. Black seed oil, that shit will like just revamp your immune system, strengthen it. If it's not already strengthened, then it'll be very hard for you to get sick. And if you do get sick, it might be for like a day or two, but it won't be for like multiple days, like how I was. So I hope to never get like that again. That was crazy. I miss a lot of work. I missed out on a lot of money. Um, and so we just got to get back to it. But anyway, man, we got a great show lineup for you guys today. Shout out to everybody in here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you guys have any questions about fitness life, man, please feel free to interact. Type it in the chat, put it in. You guys can follow me on Winners Diet Club on TikTok, Instagram, my main page, Project Mac on Instagram. So definitely show us love on there. But we got a great show lined up for you guys today, man. Today we're talking about why celebrities are rewriting the obesity story. So we'll talk about that towards the end of the show, around the 45 to 50-minute mark. But before that, we have our two segments, which is one, the Fit Report, reporting on fitness news, things going on in the fitness industry, fitness world, health world. And then we have the second segment, What the Fitness, which is basically reacting to viral, trendy fitness videos, winner's diet type, videos. And then we have the main topic of the day, why celebrities are rewriting the obesity story. So we'll be breaking that down. Oprah is out here saying some craziness out here, so we have to address that and break that down as well. And then yeah, man, that will be the end of the show. But before we get into that, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All right, we already got some trolls in the chat. Call me Diddy. Hey man, Diddy up $400 million. His reputation is in the shitter, but at least he's up $400 million. I'll take that. I'll take that all day. So, but anyway, shout out to everybody in here, man. If you guys are watching, if you guys are just now tuning in, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Please type below fitness questions, fitness concerns. What do you need help with? What are you struggling with? I'm here to assist you. So go ahead and put that in the chat if you have any fitness questions. All right. So I'm gonna give y'all about 5 seconds to hit that like button, please. 5 seconds. All right. Did y'all hit that like button? Did y'all hit that subscribe button? All right, let's get into it, man. So we got the first article of the show. Let's pull it up real quick. All right. So this one says being broke harms your heart more than high sugar or cholesterol. Researchers analyzed ECGs from over 300,000 people and found alarming results. Financial struggles increased the risk of death by 60%, while even surviving a heart attack only adds about 10% to the risk. Why? Chronic stress from money problems keeps cortisol levels high, which over time does more damage to the heart than poor diet or diabetes. All right. Hey, let's look at the comments. Now we need to figure out what's worse, a heartbreak or being broke. That's a good question. When they tell you money doesn't buy you happiness, yeah. I thought I was being dramatic. So is there a link to some communities? I think I already know the answer. So you can have a broke attack. Being broke is the root of all evil. Yeah, man. Listen, being broke is such a it's such a very interesting dynamic. Hello, Haste Brown. Hello, Juki B, even though you trolling. Good morning. But anyway, back to what I was saying, being broke, yeah, man. Being broke is one of those things where um it's very difficult to maneuver through life, man, when your finances are not in shape, right? When your finances are not in shape, it's very hard to maneuver through life. It's very hard to just do day-to-day things. And I've been in positions where I was dead broke, like couldn't even buy a Subway sandwich. I couldn't even go and buy a $10 burrito bowl at Chipotle. Well, $15 now. But I was in that stage where money was just super, super tight, bro. And I could not afford anything. So I've been there, man. It just makes life so difficult and so inconvenient. Things you need, you can't get it because you don't have any money. Things you want to do, you can't do it because you don't have any money. Places you want to go to, you can't do it because you don't have money. So it just, lack of finances, man, it just makes life very inconvenient and very, very stressful. So yes, when you're in this stage, my cortisol level was at an all-time high. I was stressed out of my mind from not being able to afford basic necessities, groceries, could barely afford my rent, could barely afford to pay my car note. I couldn't buy any new clothes. Like there's just certain things I just did not have the money for, man. And it made life very, very hard. Very, very hard. To the point where it was to a point, bro, I was considering suicide. It was that bad. And that's what lack of money can do to you, man. So when you look at the question, can money buy happiness? I'm not sure it can buy happiness. It might buy happiness temporarily, but what it does buy peace of mind. That's what it does buy. It does buy peace of mind, and it does eliminate any type of worries, and 98% of your problems will be gone because of money. There's certain things money can't fix, right? Money can't fix relationships. Money can't fix, certain different situations, but 98% of your issues can be solved with just having resources. with just having access to capital. So, I mean, when you look at the article, how being broke can harm your heart more than high sugar or cholesterol, I agree, man. I agree because if you can't get access to basic everyday necessities, your stress levels are going to be super, super high. And that can cause way more health issues in the future than having high cholesterol or just having a high sugary diet, you know? So, not saying that that can't kill you, but stress can kill you faster. Stress can kill you faster. Just not having capital, not having access to money, that can kill you way faster, you know? So, um, unless, some people can live broke and still be good. I'm talking about people that need things. So it's not the fact that you're broke. I think it's the fact that you need money, right? There's just certain basic things that you need that you cannot have access to. Because there's people that are broke that are just fine. They don't have these type of, yeah, it sucks. They probably wish they could afford certain things, but there's people that are broke but still living not as stressed as someone that is broke and cannot afford anything, right? So there's different levels to unwrap um with this statement, but I do believe, man, stress can kill you, and finances, that is a big part of stressing, man. So I've been there, you know um I've been there at the lowest of the lows, man. So I would know a lot about this. This is one of those things where it you know man, just even thinking about it is it's even thinking about it is stressful. You know what I'm saying? Just even thinking about it is stressful, man. So I hope, man, everybody's doing everything they can to put themselves in the best possible way to make as much money as they can, so that they don't have to, you know, stress out about money or figure out where their next meal is coming from or figure out how they're going to pay their bills or pay their rent. Those things, those things, man, are just another inconvenience. We're already going through a lot in life. There's already a lot going on in life. The last thing we need is just these minor inconveniences. Because to me, being broke is just like, these are minor problems, like not being able to pay your rent, but not being able to pay your bills. To me, just thinking where I want to be at, those are like very small problems. Like me and my homie Brian, we always talk about we need bigger problems. We need bigger problems. You not being able to pay your rent, that's a small problem. That's a problem that should not really be a thought, right? If you want to get to a certain level, if you're thinking ahead, like I am, like many of my friends do, then being able to not pay your rent, or being behind on bills, not being able to pay your rent, not being able to afford certain things, these are small issues. Like the issues I want are way bigger. Like, how am I gonna pay this damn seven-figure tax? How am I gonna pay this seven-figure tax bill? How am I gonna afford payroll? Like, these are the problems I want. You need bigger problems. Like, your problems are way too small. Your problems are way too small. If it's about basic things like rent and bills and being able to afford vacations, these are small issues, man. Your problems need to be bigger. And that's one thing I've learned from being around very successful people, man. They just taught me how to think bigger and want bigger issues. Because I guarantee you, most of our problems that we have in our mind right now, or most of the problems that we are going through in life, yeah, it's relative. Obviously, I'm not going to diminish anybody's problems, but it's very minute compared to where you want to go if you have those goals. It's very um inconvenient. I mean, not inconvenient. It's very insignificant. It's very insignificant compared to where you want to go to, so that's just kind of how I think, man. I always think I need bigger issues, man. I need bigger problems. The problems I have right now are nothing compared to the problems I want in the future. Cause that just lets me know the level I've gotten to. It lets me know the level I'm operating at. If I'm operating at a small level, if I'm operating at a level here, then things are not progressing how I needed to. I need the problems up here. That lets me know the level I'm playing on, right? That lets me know that I'm doing everything that I need to do. So we just need bigger problems, man. Being broke should not be one of them. All right, let's move on to the next article here. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All right, here we go. Shake Shack just launched a new high protein menu, including a lettuce wrap with 52 grams of protein. Interesting. Shake Shack has rolled out a new good fit menu focused on higher protein, lower carb ordering, built around lettuce wrap burgers and chicken options. Rather than introducing new foods, the chain is packaging specific builds with clearly defined macros to reduce friction for customers prioritizing protein intake. Several options now push protein totals into ranges rarely seen in fast casual burger menus. Double smoke shack lettuce wrap, 52 grams of protein, 5 grams of carbs. We got the double avocado bacon burger lettuce wrap, 51 grams of protein, 4 grams of carbs. Chicken shake lettuce wrap, 27 grams of protein, 11 grams of carbs. I'm not reading all this. All right, for lifters, the significance is practical. Lettuce wrapped double patty builds now deliver 50 grams of protein with minimal carbohydrates, making them viable convenience meals during cutting phases or high protein diets without heavy customization. More broadly, this reflects a shift in fast casual dining towards explicit macro transparency, meeting gym driven demand with numbers that actually matter, not vague health labels. Um, yeah, how about the calories of each burger? I'm pretty sure it's not that much without the buns. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's heavily full of oils, seed oils. Um, what type of meat are they using? Good idea for them, but I bet the amount of sodium is insane. I was just gonna say that the sodium in the burger is probably insane. But nonetheless, man, this is a very good idea. I'm loving the new approach that a lot of fast food restaurants are coming now with, trying different types of styles rather than coming up with new um, items on the menu. They're now just repackaging what they already have and just making healthier options for people. Because we already know, man, the fast food industry is pretty much cooked at this point, right? You're seeing many shops close down. You're seeing many restaurants go out of business, and that's because they haven't evolved with the times. They haven't evolved with the times, and their pricing and quality the pricing has gone up and the quality has gone down. I remember I went to Denny's, I think like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, man. And I haven't been in, I haven't been to Denny's in years, right? I'm talking about like early 2000s. It's like the last time I was at a Denny's. But I went to Denny's because it was right there. It was convenient. I was hungry. Me and my homie, we went over there. And I remember just ordering the food, man, and the food came out. I think I had like two waffles and some bacon and eggs, or some sausage and eggs, and it came out, man, and the food just looked terrible. The quality was down, the quality was shitty. Um, the portion sizes did not justify the price. And we just looked at this like, bro, this is a scam. And this is the reason why many Denny's are going out of business. It's the reason why many Denny's are shutting down a lot of their locations because of things like this. They've forgotten great customer service, great quality of food. And they just haven't evolved with the times, man. They haven't evolved with the menu. They haven't added anything that's more healthier, because we're shifting more to a high protein, high macronutrient type of lifestyle. If you're seeing with a lot of these restaurants, especially with like the burger spots, In and Out has already been doing it for years. Now you're seeing Chipotle do the high protein chicken bowl, many other places as well. So a lot of these places now are prioritizing macronutrient friendly meals. And a lot of other fast food places or just restaurants in general have not caught on to this trend. And now they're paying the price for it. So um it's also not only a business lesson, but also just a another reason to pay attention to your competitors, man. Because if they're all making changes, if they're all moving forward and adapting to the times, that's a sign that you probably should too. But if you don't do that, then you get left behind, unfortunately. So it's one of those things where yeah, man, I love seeing, but who really eats at Shake Shack, to be honest with you? I love the idea, right? I love the idea, but who eats at Shake Shack? I haven't been to Shake Shack in years. And every time I've gone, one, again, the pricing doesn't match the quality of the food. The burger and fries are basic. And I'm not saying In and Out is any better, but In and Out is way more affordable than Shake Shack. And the quality is way better, right? Now they got some work to do on the fries, but just as far as the overall experience of In and Out, it beats Shake Shack times 10. It definitely beats Shake Shack. So um hopefully this is a new, hopefully this can attract new customers. Maybe they can continue to grow, but overall it's a good start to changing up your brand identity and kind of shifting more and marketing towards the gym crowd. So, you know, salute to Shake Shack, man. All right, here we go. We got another article here. Make sure you guys hit that like button, please. Hit that subscribe button. To all four of you guys in here, shout out to you guys. If you guys are now just joining us, please go ahead. If you guys are on a fitness journey for the new year, go ahead and get my free 7-day fat loss guide. All right. If you guys haven't already, my fat loss guide is here. You can go ahead and get that. You can go to winnersdietclub.com and go ahead and pick that up. It's a free guide breaking down how to lose body fat, lose weight, all that. It's free. So we know how much you guys like free shit. So there you go. All right, let's move on to the next article we got here. Where we at? All right, here we go. So this is funny. CEO buys his office pizza after they helped him earn a $3 million holiday bonus. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at this. At least it had 3 toppings. See, an employee's post about work has gone viral. He helped his boss improve quarter 4 performances. This allowed his boss to get a $3 million bonus. His boss only thanked the office with a pizza party. What would you do? Man, this is crazy. Let's take a look at the comments. If this is real, they all should walk out the next day. Let's see how this business runs then. How his business runs then. He got 3 million. The company got a pizza party, which is a tax write-off with the Costco paper. Yeah, this is Costco pizza, by the way. $7 Costco pizza. Let's hope it was delivered in their free car. This got out girl Kathy written all over it. I respect the hustle. Sounds like my last job. Great job, guys. We had a great quarter. So here's a lame company t-shirt cap to wear on the weekend so the company can get free advertising. Yeah, man, this is insane, bro. And look, man, this is why I'm always going to advocate for people to work for yourself or start a side hustle, man. because the unfortunate reality of you working for somebody else, if that's your only source of income, is that at any point, these people will move on from you. Who's to say that after hitting that $3 million bonus, he won't fire his team the next quarter? Those same people can be replaced, by the way. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much money you made them. It doesn't matter how great your performance is. If they need a reason to get rid of you, they will get rid of you. And that is the unfortunate reality, man, of working for corporate America or just working a regular job in general. If that's your only source of income, is that they will replace your ass by lunchtime. It doesn't matter how long you've been there. It doesn't matter how much money you made them and put in their pockets. If they want to get rid of you, they will have somebody else in there by lunchtime. And they will sleep good at night, by the way. It doesn't matter. You know, it's all just business. These people, like, y'all be thinking these people are your family and, oh my God, I love my team. I love my coworkers. These people don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about you, man. This is why I always refrain from going to company holiday parties or company outings or hanging out with coworkers outside. I don't do that shit, man. Especially in corporate. In corporate, I don't do that. I don't do that because I know these people are not your friends. These people are not your friends, man. Stop thinking your coworkers are your friends. They're not your friends. Trust me. I've been in plenty corporate situations, right, back in the day where I thought people were my friends. Y'all hang out together. You go to their house, you meet their parents, and they still stab you in the back. So this is why I refrain, man. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't do any fraternizing outside of work. We keep work, work, and everything that happens outside of that, that's your own business. You know what I mean? So you got to be very careful out here, man. Trusting people and, you know, working hard for a company because they can replace you at any moment. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long you've been there, you know? And you'll never get appreciated how you should either. Think about this. You made him $3 million. How does he reward you? He gives you a pizza party that probably cost him $20. That is a slap in the face. That's a slap in the face. I remember seeing a video of a guy that worked at a 7-Eleven. He worked there for like 20, 30 years. His bosses rewarded him with a thank you card or some shit, some craziness. I'm like, damn, he was there for 30, 40 years. Like, do I get a piece of the company? Like, do I get some equity? Do I get a crazy bonus? Like, all I get is a thank you card? That's insane, bro. And people will settle for this, bro. People think this is cool. People think that this is all they deserve. It's insane to me. It's really insane to me. But um, you know, if this is what you want, man, if this is the life that you feel like you're gonna live, then this is what you can expect. Unfortunately, as long as you're an employee, you're never gonna be treated like someone that is worth anything. They'll tolerate you. They might, you know, give you a couple vacation days, but you're never going to get the same love or respect as a CEO or the person that runs the company. All you are is just another number to them. And that's exactly how they're going to treat you, unfortunately, man. So um part of the winner's diet, man, is not being able to, you know, be in one position as well, right? Just not being able to be stuck in one area. So when I talk about a pillar of the winner's diet, your habits, right? It's not just about like your day-to-day stuff, the habits that you do to transform your life. You know, are you working on a business plan outside of your job? Are you working on leaving the company at some point? Or you don't have to leave the company. You can have your job, but still be working on a business on the side. But you have to have good habits to do that. You can't come home after your 9 to 5 and then just drink beer and watch the basketball game. You can't do that. Like you have to be working even after your 9 to 5 job. But that's the part that people don't want to that's the part that people don't want to hear. You know, they just hear it's more work. I'm like, to me, it's all about reframing, right? I'm learning about just reframing certain things and looking at things in a certain view. It's not about it's not about more work. Yes, you're doing more work, but it's not about adding more workload to yourself. It's about buying your freedom back. That's how you got to look at it. It's about buying back your freedom. So if you really want to escape the rat race and get out of the matrix, your mind, man, your mind really has to change. The way you look at things, the way you think about things, it has to change. You can't think like the average everyday person, because the average everyday person is mentally a slave. And you can see that through their body. You can see that how they look every single day. They don't take care of themselves. They don't work out. They don't eat. Their diets are trash. You know, they fill their body with poison every weekend. Like, you don't want to fall into that category if your goal is to leave the matrix. Or if you don't want to leave the matrix, if you want that steady paycheck every 2 weeks, cool, but just still have your own thing on the side, because that job is not guaranteed. And we can see that through this economy. These jobs are not guaranteed. Most of these companies are downsizing every single year. Companies that were around 5, 10 years ago are not, or no, are no longer around, or they've downsized significantly. I know a lot of people that lost their jobs because their jobs have closed their doors. A bunch of people, and it's just not it's not something that you want to have to go through. I know people that haven't had a job in 9 to 9 months to a year. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate because you hate to see that happen to people, man. But it's just the reality of how the world is. Nothing is guaranteed. Even your side business. There's no guarantee that is gonna pop off or make you extra money. But you won't know until you try. Like, you still got to give yourself a chance. If you don't give yourself a chance, how are you gonna, how would you ever know? So I'm all for about just putting yourself, man, in positions where you don't have to rely solely on the job that you're working at. You can still have your job if that's what you want. Cool, get your benefits. But man, having your own hustle, having your own thing on the side is a must, man. Is a must. Is a must. Whether that be stocks, real estate, starting a side business, side hustle, just do something, man, that can generate you extra money, because the efforts that you put in at work, I hate to say this, but it's never going to be appreciated to the level that it's deserved. It's never going to be appreciated to the level that it's deserving of. Unfortunately, they'll give you a pat on the back. They'll say thank you. They'll give you a pizza party, but it's never going to be appreciated to the level that it's deserved to be. So that's just what it is, man. All right, let's move on. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and tapping in. If you guys are in here, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you guys have any questions about fitness, please put it in the chat. Please and thank you. All right, let's move on to the next video or the next segment in What the Fitness. All right. So, how many of you guys like Domino's pizza? So, in this video, it says FDA finds traces of carcinogen in Domino's pizza sauce. Oh man. All right, let's take a look at this.
19,000 kilograms of Domino's pizza sauce was rejected after testing positive for ethylene oxide, a pesticide and known carcinogen hiding in the mix.
This cardboard disc barely qualifies as food. One Domino's pizza hits you with over 44 industrial additives. The cheese isn't real. It's restructured phosphates holding grease together. The sauce, stabilized with dimethyl polysiloxane, a silicone-based anti-foaming agent used to keep industrial vats from bubbling over. Sourdough pizza was the cleanest by a mile, but this one checked for metal exposure, plastic transfer, and chemical load. Comment app to find safe brands.
19.
Damn. Yeah, man, it's looking scary out here. Like, we can't eat anything without damn near getting cancer and dying out here, man. We can't have shit out here. Unfortunately, this is just, damn. It is what it is, man. It's hard out here, bro. It's extremely hard out here. I used to eat Domino's a lot too. You know, I used to eat Domino's a lot. It was cheap, affordable, but I've definitely as I gotten older, I've definitely backed off it a lot. Haven't had it in a while, and I probably won't have it really ever again because it's not the best pizza. But yeah, man, it's unfortunate, but you got to realize, man, a lot of people eat these things religiously, right? A lot of these people will eat Domino's pizza, they'll eat fast food, you know, they'll eat junk food, and they're not aware of what's actually in there. Not only is it high in calories and just empty calories, but you have to look at the ingredients that's in there, the pesticides, you know, the cancerous, like there's just a lot of things in there that is just fake food, fake ingredients. I don't know where it's from. It's metal. It's like melted metal in the pizza, rubber, you know, and we find this fulfilling. We find this to be something of a delicacy, you know, and it's unfortunate, man, how far we've come with just how food is made and produced, and now it's being served to us like, you know, we're just cattle, you know, we're just pigs. We just eat anything. And it's very important that we watch what we eat on a day-to-day basis. I wouldn't even recommend eating this as a cheat meal. That's how bad these things are for you. I wouldn't even recommend you eating this as a cheat meal because just of what is in there and the ingredients that's in there. You know, doesn't really do anything for you. It just makes you dehydrated, makes you lethargic, causes your stomach to hurt. And I just don't see the benefit in eating things like this. I don't see a benefit in eating a Domino's or, you know, McDonald's, Shake Shack. Well, not so much Shake Shack, but, you know, Wendy's, Taco Bell. These are all just food waiting to kill you, basically. But, you know, it is what it is. Most people won't learn until something bad happens to them. But if this is part of your diet, if you're eating this multiple times out the week, man, you are insane. You're insane. All right, let's move on to the next video here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button, please. Hit that subscribe button. All right, we have a video here of CEOs ranking good and bad gym franchises. I think we had a video like this earlier on, but let's hear from the CEOs on what they have to say about it.
Versus bad franchises. Planet Fitness.
Bad. You need $3 to $4 million just to open the doors. Unless you have massive scale, the ROI takes forever.
Damn, $3 to $4 million for a Planet Fitness, and you're never gonna make that money back. By the way, just letting you know, you're never gonna make that money back. Mainly because the memberships are like 10 to 15 bucks a month. So you're never gonna make that money back. You're gonna be in the hole forever. That's just a write-off for, you know, bigger companies that invest in businesses. So that's just a write-off. But you're never going to make any money as a franchise owner of any Planet Fitness.
Anytime Fitness.
Good. Flat monthly royalty fee means you keep more of your revenue. Low overhead, high margin.
Gold's Gym.
Bad. Iconic name, but the massive overhead and operational costs crush your profit margin.
Club.
Yeah, Gold's Gym. I mean, that's why Gold's Gym got bought out by EOS. EOS decided to take over, buy them out, because Gold's Gym was never really profitable. They've only really lasted this long based off of their name, their brand. You know, obviously the Mecca in Venice Beach in LA, that's always been around. But Gold's Gym has just always, I would say since COVID, you know, maybe I'm wrong, but I just think they haven't recovered since COVID, and that's why EOS came in and took over.
Pilates.
Good. Reoccurring revenue model with a small footprint. It's a cash flow machine.
Pilates is another good investment, man. You know, there's Pilates. You know, in LA, they're everywhere. So I don't know. The competition market might be a little different, but Pilates studio, you know, that might be a good investment. Definitely in a rich ass area. But
45 training.
Bad. Costs to get started are way higher now. People aren't sticking with it, and the hype is dying down.
9.
Yeah, F45 not as popular as it used to be prior to COVID. I know a lot of celebrities have invested in there. I think Mark Wahlberg is an investor, but I'm pretty sure he's sold his shares by now.
9-round fitness.
Good. You don't need many employees. The sessions stay full, and the business runs efficiently. Want to find a
9 rounds. Whenever you have a business model like that where you can like have classes, that's always a good model, you know. And if you have open gym as well, that's also another good way to profit. But gyms in general, man, I would stay away from gyms in general. If I had money, depending on what I wanted it for, right? If it's just for a write-off, I know the shit is not gonna make no money, then whatever. But like I said on the last stream, investing in a gym might be the worst investment you can do. So there's certain gyms that will make money, but more times than not, most gyms don't make money. And that's mainly because the business model is bad and the startup fees are too high, so you don't have much margin in the end. So is what it is. All right, let's get to the next and final video in What the Fitness. All right, we have a woman here. Let me refresh this. We have a woman here that says, I can never pay that much for a gym.
I can never pay that much for a gym. I can never pay that much for a gym. That's literally the point. I pay it so you're not there. I can never pay that much for a gym. I can never pay that much for a gym. That's literally the point. I pay it so you're not there.
Yeah. Again, I'm always going to encourage people to go to whatever your goals are, right? If you don't care about the gym that you go to, this really isn't for you. But if you care about quality, if you care about ambiance, if you care about amenities, if you care about quality of the gym, if you care about the members in the gym, then you're going to be looking for the highest tier gym, right? I've always said the gyms that are $100 and above are always going to be the quality high tier gyms because of the amenities, the perks, the benefits, the people in the gym, the networking, the gym being clean is a very big one, right? Cleanliness is a very big part of any gym that I go to. If the gym is not clean, if the bathrooms are not clean, if the bathrooms are not clean, I'm not gonna go there. That might be the biggest reason I go to any gym. I don't like to feel like the gym I go to is dirty, is disgusting. Like I hate that. It's the most uncomfortable feeling you can have, going to a gym where it's not clean, the bathrooms are not clean, you know, there's toilet tissue everywhere. Like that is the worst feeling ever. So I always got to make sure any gym I go to, it has to be clean. I don't care if the sauna is there, if it's not clean, it doesn't matter to me. But back to the video, if you care about these things, then you're gonna go to a higher quality gym, $100 or more a month, right? Not to mention the people in the gym. You're not gonna be around the everyday person if you're at these higher tier gyms, right? The Equinoxes, the Lifetime Fitnesses, some of these privately owned gyms that are range from 100, 150 to 250, $300 a month. You're not going to be around the everyday person. And another thing too, if you want more room, if you don't want as much, if you don't want people to how do I say this? If you don't want all the gym, all the equipment to be used up, then you're gonna go to a higher quality gym. Because the gyms that are lower tier, 10, 15, $20 a month, $30 a month, sometimes $50 a month, those gyms are gonna be packed with the everyday person. So especially during crunch time or rush hour, right after work, the equipment area is going to be used up. It's going to be hard to find machines to use. It's going to be hard to find the free weights to use. These areas are going to be packed with people just getting off of work. When you're in these higher quality gyms, you're not always going to find that, right? You're not always going to find everybody in there at 5, 6 p.m. Yeah, it'll be busy at times, but you'll still be able to get machine working. You'll still be able to have more room to work out in. When you're in these lower tier gyms, everybody's in there because everybody can afford it, So you want to be in places where everybody can't always afford it. If you can afford it, right? That's where I want to be. I want to be in places where not everybody can afford to be in, because it just means more abundance, and it's not crowded, man. I hate being in places where it's super crowded. That's just a pet peeve of mine, especially the gym. I can't go to a gym where it's always crowded, So that's why I'm like, man, I got to go to places where everybody's not going to be there. It's going to be filled with people, but not to the point where I can't get a machine. I can't work. I can't use a cardio machine. I can't do this. So, and the type of people that's in there, you're not going to be around the hood rats and, the people that want to start trouble, that want to start fights. The only time, look, man, the only time you will ever see a fight is in a lower quality gym. You're not going to see a fight at an Equinox. You're not going to see a fight at a Lifetime. You're not going to see a fight at a members only club. You're only going to see fights. You're only going to see big arguments at the lower tier gyms. The 10, 15, 20, $30 a month, those are where all the BS is going to happen. Because everybody can be there. Everybody can afford it. You want to be in the places where not everybody can afford. It just makes the experience a lot better. I'm not saying that there's not going to be any arguments in higher quality gyms, of course, right? We're humans. But as far as like physical altercations, you won't see physical altercations. You won't see guys pulling out knives and guns, threatening you. You ain't going to see that at these higher end gyms, man. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. I've been in plenty of these gyms. It doesn't happen. People are peaceful. They're minding their business. Like they're not thinking about you. But when you're in these lower end gyms where the gym membership is cheaper, you're going to get that type of crowd. You're going to get that type of energy because now you're amongst everybody. I don't want to be amongst everybody. So, if that's your goal, then yeah, you want to be at these higher end gyms, because I don't want to be around these folks. Not me. So that's just me, man. So, she's right. All right, man. We are at the 50-minute mark. Shout out to everybody in here. Shout out to everybody tapping in. Let's get straight to it, man. Today we are talking about why celebrities are rewriting the obesity story. So A few days ago, a few streams back, I talked about how, you're having now more celebrities endorse the GLP-1 drug. I think the first one was Serena Williams. Then they got Simone Biles on it. Then they had Tom Brady now as an ambassador. Oprah was a part of that as well. But the problem now, man, what's happening now is we're seeing a revamp in what was once the body positivity movement. Now you're seeing a revamp in it now with the weight loss drugs. Now you're seeing these weight loss drug companies come in and trying to revamp that whole narrative of, loving your body to the point where now it's, hey, it may not be you overeating. It may just be the obesity gene. It might be just be genetics. So here, take this pill that will combat that, and you'll get skinny. You'll get healthy. So now you're seeing this narrative play out in real time, because these companies are now throwing big money at a lot of these celebrities. And the problem with this now, and the problem with the body positivity movement, is that both campaigns are ignoring the main factor in you being overweight, and that's responsibility and accountability. They're never going to acknowledge that because it kind of defeats what they're pushing. It goes against their agenda, and celebrities now are not having the same, power as they used to have in the, back in the day. They still have power. They still have a voice, but it's not as strong as it used to be. So now you're seeing a lot of people now come in and speak out against celebrities. They're now calling them out on their BS, their lies, because now people are waking up and they're understanding there's too much information out here. So here's a video I seen of Oprah Winfrey. I think she was on The View, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, she is. Okay. So Oprah is another ambassador for GLP-1 drugs. And she was on The View talking about what she learned from obesity and everything that she's went throughout the years. So let's take a look at what Miss Winfrey has to say about it.
I was overeating. I was standing there with all the food noise, what I ate, what I should eat, how many calories was that, how long is it going to take? I thought that was because of me and my fault. Yeah. Now I understand that if you carry the obesity gene, if that is what you have, that is what makes you overeat. You don't overeat and become obese. Right. Obesity causes you to overeat. Right. Obesity causes you to have all of that food noise. And what the GLP-1s have done for me, and I know a number of other people, is to quiet that noise. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh man. Did y'all hear what she just said? Let's take a look at this again, because I want to replay this. Let's take a look at this again.
These years, I thought I was overeating. I was standing there with all the food noise, what I ate.
All this year, she thought she was overeating. That's exactly what it was, Oprah. It was. You were overeating. That's why you were overweight. That's usually what happens when people overeat.
What I should eat, how many calories was that, how long is it going to take? I thought that was because of me and my fault. Yeah.
It was you and your fault. That's exactly what it was. Who else? Whose fault was it then? If it wasn't your fault, Oprah, whose fault was it? It wasn't mine. It wasn't Stedman's. So whose fault was it, Oprah?
Yeah. Now I understand that if you carry the obesity gene, if that is what you have.
Oh my God. So now there's an obesity gene. Now there's a gene from your DNA that makes you fat. Now there's a gene in your DNA that causes you to overeat. What gene is that? Can somebody pull that gene up? Is there scientific facts behind this? Is there scientific studies behind an obesity gene? Why am I now just hearing about this?
That is what makes you overeat. You don't overeat and become obese.
Right.
Obesity causes you to overeat.
Oh, okay. So you don't overeat and become obese. Obesity causes you to overeat. So being drunk causes me to eat, or being drunk causes me to drink, right? Is that what you're saying? Being a drugged up junkie causes me to do drugs. This is the logic behind what she's saying. This is very interesting. And this is very dangerous, by the way.
Obesity causes you to have all of that food noise. And what the GLP-1s have done for me, and I know a number of other people, is to quiet that noise.
Yeah.
Quiet that noise. How does it quiet that noise, Oprah? Please expand on that. How exactly does GLP-1 quiet the noise of the obesity gene? You see, these people talk in circles. They say things that sound smart to dumb people. Oh, I don't want to say dumb people, but they say things that sound smart to ignorant people. This is what is happening now in the health world, because now there's a big bag behind it. Oh, like I always say this shit, man. Always follow the money, man. Always follow the money. Whenever you see multiple celebrities behind an agenda, behind a campaign, there's usually a big bag attached to that, especially if that campaign came out of nowhere. Like, why are they promoting HIV medication now? You know, why are they promoting this? Like, there's usually a humongous bag behind what they're promoting. You know, I've seen Cardi B promote HIV drugs. I've seen Tamar Braxton, Keke Palmer, you know, and now you're seeing Tom Brady behind the GLP-1. Now you're seeing Simone Biles. Now you're seeing Oprah Winfrey. And there's going to be more celebrities that are going to come out and push this. But if they're really smart, they go after the big streamers. They go after the big YouTubers. Those are the people that really have the biggest voice and biggest power now. Celebrities have power, but they don't have as much power now as these big YouTubers, as these streamers. But they still think that celebrities is the end all be all. They're more credible. You know, people don't really respect YouTubers and streamers. That's just fact, at least not in the entertainment industry. You know, they don't respect them. So they're never going to have that same, we're never going to push that crazy bag on you, because they just they don't believe that you have the same buying power as an Oprah, a Tom Brady, a Cardi B, you know. But there's always going to be a big bag behind you pushing out an agenda, because most of these celebrities are broke. You know, they're not making as much money as you think they are, or if they are, they're spending it just as fast. So they're always going to jump on an opportunity that they don't believe in for a check. You know, and they're going to push it down your throat because they know you're ignorant, and they know that you're not going to do the research, and that you need an out for your lack of accountability. So when she says, "Oh, it's not my fault. It wasn't my fault that I was overeating. It was the obesity gene. It was a gene I had." So what happens is now the GLP-1 drug is going to quiet that noise, whatever the fuck that means. Whatever that means. So this is what you're getting now, man. You're just getting more lack of accountability. You know, and you're getting more public figures increasingly frame obesity as it's biological. It was already in you. It's in your DNA. You know, and overeating and the behavior behind overeating is always going to be downplayed and removed from the conversation, because it goes against what they're promoting. You know, and this is just what it is, man. They're going to normalize this behavior. They're going to take away accountability from people that need accountability, and they're just going to create more victims. This is just typical business, man. They got to scare you into this. They got to make you feel like, you know, it's not your fault. You know, it's somebody else's fault that gave you this gene. It's your dad or your mom, your family members. Like, it wasn't your fault. despite the fact that you eat out multiple times a day, you don't move your body, you drink every weekend, you eat like shit, you know, you don't drink water, like, but it's not your fault though, right? It's never your fault. But this is what they're gonna push on you. This is what they're gonna promote to you. It's the same thing as the body positivity movement that started about 10 years ago. It's just now getting revamped because of this new phenomenon in GLP-1. So I hope if you guys have a brain, if you guys understand how the body works, that it's simply calories in versus calorie out. You have to burn more calories than you consume. And that's through being in a calorie deficit. That's through working out 3 to 4 times a week. That's through getting enough sleep and drinking enough water. You guys, all of this is scientific. It can be backed by science very easily. What they're saying cannot be backed by science. So you can always tell if somebody knows what they're talking about, especially in the fitness world, if what they're saying can be backed by science. If it can't be backed by science, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. That's all there is to it. And you have to find a new way of getting information. And I'm surprised to me that people are still falling for this with how much information is out here. But people, the problem with the information that's out here that kind of works against us is that it forces you to take accountability. This, what they're promoting to you, forces you to not take accountability. It gives you an out. It gives you justification to not take accountability. And look, I'm not against weight loss drugs. I truly believe, hey, if you tried everything, if you tried the natural way, go ahead and do it. But just be prepared for the consequences. You might have loose skin, you might have side effects, but look, man, at least give yourself a shot first. At least try. That's the least you can do. At least try. Give yourself a shot first before you jump into GLP-1. But taking the drugs is easier, man. It is what it is. But man, that's been today's show. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate you guys for tapping in. Great show today. Make sure you guys hit that like button, please. Hit that subscribe button. If you guys have any questions about fitness, about today's show, man, please put it in the chat. Let's talk. Let's chop it up. If not, then we'll see you guys next week. You guys have a great rest of y'all weekend. I will see you guys again soon. Peace.